right, the Hermosa interview with Reagan Birch and Noah Cook. Thanks for coming today, guys. Even though we're buying you lunch, so I figured you'd show up.
Thanks for dragging us along.
Sure, man. So we've been in Hermosa. We had 3 visits to Hermosa, and we've been in Hermosa. We surfed for 3 days, today being our 3rd day. Let's talk about when you first wake up in the morning, what's going through your heads. Because you can hear the waves all night, right?
Yeah, a little bit of thunder.
What's going through your heads?
How big it's gonna be. How hard the paddle out's gonna be.
That's what always gets me, is the paddle out and the wipe out.
I just take a deep breath and go, fuck, this is gonna suck. That's the main thing in the way I think. And then when it doesn't go that bad, I'm like, be super stoked.
So your first day of surfing, I noticed you guys, when you go down to the beach, you don't run right down to the water and just jump in and take off. What are you looking for?
The easiest way out.
Where everybody else is paddling out, sitting,
You watching the locals where they sit?
drifting.
Of course.
The drift is pretty severe here. It's kind of surprising because you can't tell, but then you get in the water and you're like, next thing you know, you're down a quarter mile. How about your wave adjustments when you guys are catching waves? Are you nervous on the waves, paddling for the waves?
Sometimes.
Are you nervous when you get caught?
I just learned to just relax.
What about when you get caught and you're going over backwards?
Well, that's always scary.
I remember our first trip here, Reagan see me go straight over the freaking falls. I was like on the lip. Awesome.
Is that big paddle out where I didn't make it out that day?
No, that was a fun day. It was a really fun day.
It was like the day before.
It was like the day before, like that maybe. But it was super fun. Just go.
Ginger, wasabi, and soy
Yeah, I got it. Now, I noticed Noah rides a thruster, Reagan rides a twin fin, and I ride a quad fin. So what's the big advantage of having a twin fin for you, Reagan?
It's less holding you back, a little more speed, easier to turn, get where you want it to go.
Kind of like a skimboard with control?
Right, exactly.
Did you used to skim?
Yep.
Ah, that's why you like it so much?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. How about you, Noah? Why do you love that thruster?
Traditional, man.
No, but why? Is there a reason? Have you tried the twin? Have you tried
I've tried a twin. Yeah, I got that fish beard, but I mean, that's not really a traditional twin. I mean,
Thruster.
if I were to say it's like anything else, it probably serves a lot like Reagan's album. That fish beard probably serves really similar, but it's not as like,
Why is it a fish beard?
because it's like that neck beard, but a fish tail. The just twin.
What's a neck beard?
Neck beard's like
Short and stubby with a super wide tail, flat wide tail.
it's like a neck with beard.
He had a couple of them at Carton, didn't he?
It's
He had like
similar.
a quad fin neck beard.
Yup.
Okay, so I kind of understand. And neck beard? Is that where it came from, the name?
Dane Reynolds.
Because he has a neck beard?
No, I think he's seen some guy with it, or he just drew it on his
Might have
board.
been Brit.
That's what it was.
So what's your goal for surfing for the next few days here?
Bigger and bigger waves.
Do you have goals when you come out in the morning time? Like I have goals.
Catch a few waves and enjoy it.
Yeah.
My first goal is get out.
Yeah.
If I get out, it's a good day. That's like number one. Then when I'm out, my next goal is just make one drop
I don't know if I like implement it to Reagan, but
and
like
don't die.
you get the 3-wave quota, you catch 3 waves. It doesn't matter if they're good or bad, or even 1 wave.
I think it's definitely relevant in Hermosa. Hermosa?
Especially on a bigger day. One can be enough.
There were some sets that came through today that were so big. If you were caught and going over the top and it's breaking on 2 foot of water, I can't even imagine what would happen to you. And I almost got caught a couple times there.
With the paddle, it's,
Yeah, with anything, I couldn't imagine going over backwards like that.
Yeah, no.
There, I mean, if you don't duck dive, because there's a couple times like when the whitewater was coming. Normally I would just paddle right through it, and I just tried to paddle through it, and I got spun around, flipped upside down. I probably looked like a kook. Probably looked like a kook anyways, but
You're the only one out there with on the paddleboard.
yeah, I didn't see a lot of paddle boards out there.
Seen a lot of shortboarders, but no paddleboarders.
So what brand of board are you riding, Noah?
Just a loss. I brought 2 loss on this trip. This is the first time I haven't brought like a Channel Islands, because I usually bring that. Like that's the only boards I ride, and then I I got this little wing, Mason Home model, and dude, like, it's a fun board. I just need to dial it in still. Like, so I want to surf like smaller waves, maybe a little smaller, not too small.
How are you gonna force yourself to surf more when you get home? Because one thing you guys said is that you guys don't surf enough anymore.
Go to the East Coast every chance I get now, instead of just like waiting. When it's like 2 to 3, I'm just gonna go if the tide looks good.
Like we've taken a surf trip here. I've been here 6 times. 5 or 6? 6 times. I've never not had waves. Really, I mean, like even the bad waves were better than I've ever seen on the west coast of Florida.
Oh, yeah.
And I love the west coast of Florida.
You start riding the longboards again at home.
That makes a big difference.
Yeah.
One thing I always know that I do is like when I'm in the lineup, when I'm paddling out, trying to get out, because it's so hard and frustrating, I'm watching the wave and I'm always counting in my head how long I would have to ride that wave. Even though I'm not on it, I'm like 1, 2, 3, okay, 3 seconds. 3 seconds seems to be the average what I'm seeing in Hermosa, how long you have to ride that wave.
I never even thought about that.
Yeah, I look at it like I'm a student. This is my classroom. I'm in class, and the ocean is educating me at that moment
That's a good idea.
to what's going on with the waves. And it does help a lot because you're not just getting beat up. You're doing homework, and you're like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Good on you.
Yeah. If you look at it a little different than just trying to get out, I do a lot of talking to the ocean when I'm out there. Because you can be yourself. Nobody's around. Nobody can hear you. You know, you're near drowning and fucking bouncing off the
That's how it
thing.
was today.
It's dark. You can't find the top.
All I know sometimes is my back hits the sand and I come back up and I'm just glad that I didn't die.
So what's your guys' goals for the next year or so?
Just to improve on surfing. That's like my main goal. I gotta start riding the Carver more. I just can't skateboard anymore because I'm off mom's insurance.
I want to start skimming again. Just figuring out body movements off of the surfboard.
Have you ever surfed pinless?
No.
I bet you'd be pretty good at it.
Seems no, or you just went reverse, right?
Yeah, like I was out with my girlfriend at the time and freaking really rode the board on the nose. I was just riding it, went right.
Did a 180? I
Yeah,
rode
just
it.
spun it around, yeah. I was running switch out of it though, because you gotta remember you're like spinning this way. So my right foot's forward. I mean, me and Reagan used to skate for a year straight. I think almost 2 years.
Longer, yeah.
Me and Reagan skated for 2 years straight, Dad.
Does skating make you a better surfer for sure?
Probably, honestly. I just didn't know it.
I would think it makes you a braver surfer.
Yeah, concrete.
Mm-hmm. Because you're not eating shit on concrete. In a sense, you're not going to drown on concrete, but you know the odds of you breaking your wrist in the water are pretty slim
Well,
compared to concrete.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like when I fall at Hermosa, it's pretty much like hitting concrete sometimes.
Yeah, if you get stuck in that lip and
You're hitting
tossed
pretty
down,
hard, dude.
Yeah.
hitting the sand pretty hard.
So what are your goals for coming up for the next year or so? Do you have any or?
Not really.
I need to start driving again. Get back in my old mindset. Being outside and staying active.
And doing what?
Not getting fat.
Not being in the house playing video games.
It's addictive though. That chair is so inviting. It's so
It
comfortable.
is.
I fit in. I like playing video games too.
AC.
All right, boys. Thanks for coming.
All
Throw me a
right.
shaka.